History has been made. That's right, the news in wrestling that everyone is discussing. It's on everyone's mind. They can't believe it. 20 years of Rey Mysterio in WWE. Hey, what's going on, Bob Squad? Oh, pardon me. How the heck are you? Thanks for joining me once again. Yes, there was no hardest part of the ring about WWE Hulu edition of Raw last week, because I saw the first opening segment and the show made me disgusted, so I didn't want to talk about it, which I have every right to do. But be that as it may, that notwithstanding, I couldn't let this one go, because wow, what a historic Raw, as most of you already know. For the first time in 40 years, Vince McMahon is not in charge of the WWE, and for the first Monday Night Raw ever, it's the Raw with Vince McMahon not in charge. There have been Raws in the past where he did not attend the taping, and even those are few and far between. But this is the first time where Vince was not in charge of Raw. The new CEO and head of creative is WWE's Hall of Famer Triple H. And Stephanie McMahon has a big highfalutin job. Is she the COO? What is she? I don't know what she is. She's the chairperson. She's the desk person, the table person. As long as you know, it's weird. We don't have salesmen. We have salespersons now. And there's a few other positions. We've done that too, which is perfectly fine. You don't hear the garbage men complaining, do you? No. I want to be called a garbage person. They don't. Okay. Well, that was fun and a waste of your time. Wow. So this Raw, we are at Madison Square Garden of all places, and the energy, you know, is going to be it's going to be through the roof anyway. So there's a lot of excitement. There's buzz in the air. And this, even though it's still got that 3-hour problem, for the longest time, for a long time, for the first time in a long time, I'll spit it out. I'll get there, Bob Squad. Don't worry about it. This felt like Monday Night Raw. It kind of felt like a Raw, like a modern Raw. It didn't need a bunch of language. It didn't need a bunch of boobies. It didn't need a bunch of blood and this, that, and the other thing. It needed an anything can happen feeling, and this didn't quite have the complete chaotic anything can happen feeling, but this is a little unpredictable feeling, and unpredictable is what we needed. We still have not, on our way to SummerSlam, gotten Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns in the ring at the same time. And I guess, hold on a second. Hold on. Bless me. Sorry, guys. Pardon me, that had to happen. We still have not gotten Brock and Roman at all in the ring at the same time. We might Friday night on SmackDown, but I don't know what to tell you. I'll do an episode for this on SummerSlam. That'll be interesting. So we are at Monday Night Raw, and at least on the Hulu edition, not limited enough commercial interruption. The internet is abuzz, you silly gooses. Geese? You silly geese. And you silly ganders as well, whatever's good for you. What crazy changes is Triple H going to make? That's what everyone's saying. Is he going to bring back 40 people we like that got laid off? All this nonsense floating around. Folks, why, amidst all this chaos, would he find the time, or even try to make the time? Sorry, I'm sniffling now, goddammit. Why would he go out of his way to rewrite a show completely and drive everyone into a tizzy? Especially the go-home show before SummerSlam. He's known for being logical, okay? Maybe to a fault sometimes, but he's so super logical. What he's probably almost definitely going to do, and what he's clearly doing, is he's going to sensibly finish what was written, not drive the crew, the staff, the talent, and the production, video production people crazy. Finish what was doing, make whatever tweaks he feels he desperately needs to make, and change little things a little bit at a time. And there were 1 or 2 little things, 2 or 3 little things tonight that I'll bring up that look different to me. I'll wait till we get there. Let's start. Okay. One change Triple H did not make, thankfully, is we still open the show with Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant. Thank goodness for that, because we would not want to have that change. Nor do we want to lose the soothing melodic sounds of John Cena's voice, which could put you to sleep, but in a good way. We have that. And we open the show, we see fighting right away. We're in the middle of a fist fight that I guess took place moments ago or earlier or whatever, or right before they went on the air, between The Miz and Paul Logan. We're watching a fist fight happen now. And I think they told us that it happened earlier, but on TV, they're like, look what happened a minute ago. Right before it went on air, it was crazy. And it gave you that anything can happen feeling. Like, look, we didn't even plan it. They didn't have the guys start conveniently brawling the second they went on the air, which I still would have been okay with. No. Like, something crazy just happened. It's Monday Night Raw. The Miz and a celebrity are fighting. Nice big pull apart. Pardon me for the sniffling. God, this only happens when I record, too. I'm fine otherwise. I don't know why that is. But then we do the opening long talking segment, and it's Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Roman Reigns is there, and he doesn't feel like talking. He lets Paul Heyman cut an amazing promo, much better than Heyman was last week. They have their fun, and Heyman is a pro. The microphone doesn't work, and he says, well, the sound guy must be from Jersey. Beautiful, beautiful. They're in New York City. They know how New York and Jersey feel about each other. He takes the cheap shot. Of course, he babyfaces himself and his group, but whatever. Okay. And Theory interrupts. Good old Theory. He's in the first hour of the show. That's a point of interest. Theory is here. He's got his briefcase. He confronts Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns tells him Daddy's not here to help you anymore, in reference to Vince McMahon. And one of the Usos slaps Austin across the head, and Austin hits the Uso with the briefcase, and the Bloodline calls it off, and they're not going to brawl with him today. Roman's just basically bemused by Austin Theory, and Austin Theory then has to talk when we get back from break. I really don't remember what he said. But then Austin Theory, or just Theory, will we start seeing first names return? Maybe. Who knows? Theory is wrestling Drew McIntyre. Okay? He's wrestling Drew McIntyre with a giant sword, even though McIntyre is on SmackDown. Okay? And there's a disqualification somehow. I forgot how. Yes, Sheamus and his friends. Sheamus is Irish, and his two friends are British, and they beat up the guy who is Scottish. Okay? And somehow this became a tag team match, because now it is Sheamus, and it is Theory versus Drew and Bobby Lashley, who came to make the save. Drew and Bobby looked great together. That might be an idea for a team later down the road. And two guys that you can have baby faces that people don't want to mess with. You can have baby faces where you see them, if you were to see the guy alone at a bar, you're still not picking to fight with him. Okay? Baby faces who aren't huge pussies. Who knew? Right? So it's Bobby and Drew versus Theory and what's-his-face, Sheamus. And everyone's having a great time. Sheamus and his friends are from SmackDown as well. And so what happens here? I forget. Did I forget to write this down? I think I totally did. Oh, well. Dolph Ziggler is out of nowhere. He just shows up. He doesn't do anything. He scrolls through his phone. Theory is distracted. He gets caught in the Hurt Lock from Bobby Lashley, his SummerSlam opponent. Theory taps immediately, and Corey Graves, thankfully, was able to make the point in saying Theory just saved himself. He didn't want to get injured before SummerSlam. He took off. So Theory takes up off the ramp. And I'll take this time to announce, I didn't hear a huge difference between the announcing today. This is the first time the announcers have not had Vince talking to them as they're talking and yelling in their ear. But I didn't notice anything strange or bad or egregious or radically different and wonderful either. To tell you the truth, I couldn't tell the difference. But I'm sure they can. The announcers, that is. Theory's up the ramp, he turns around, he gets a double super kick from the Usos are back. My God, so the Usos and Dolph and Lashley and Drew and Roman have all inserted their orifice in Theory's anus in the first. It was all over the place. But then we have Rey Mysterio's huge package is dangling. It's all over the place. And we see all these wonderful Rey Mysterio moments, and the Mysterios get out of their car, and Rey is driving, and Dominic gets out of the back seat if they couldn't make him look like a bigger goof. Like his dad's driving him to school. That was preposterous. And then Ray and Dominic come out and from MSG, and Ray gives a very nice, sincere speech. And this felt to me, it felt to me like there was a lot more bullet points and less scripted verbiage, whatever it is. That's not really Ray's thing. Ray could always talk, just say just what he needs to say, and Ray said it. He said his thank yous, and he mentioned Eddie Guerrero, of course, and everything else. And then on Rey Mysterio's mask, it says the word mask. I am not kidding. That means Ray really doesn't know exactly what his mask is after all these years, or he wants to see a gas station turn into a mountain with a boulder on top. And thank you for getting that. Okay. Here's one of the changes from this new Triple H era. Rey Mysterio's family watches TV like normal people. They stand in front of the screen and not to the side of it, craning their necks like insane folks. So that was nice to see them just watch the TV, and we saw the TV at a little bit of a weird angle, but who cares? We didn't need to see it. Judgment Day is creeping around, and they start a brawl, and I guess they told us the tag team match was planned, and Corey told us twice, yes, there was a scheduled tag match, we just didn't expect Judgment Day to interrupt it as early as they did. And I like these little touches where, since it is a 3-hour live program, they can't pretend everything happened just last minute, a spur of the moment. They have to go, hey, obviously we planned matches because it's 3 hours of live TV. We had a plan. Sometimes we stick to it. Usually we stick to it, and sometimes things go awry. But we did have a plan for our 3-hour program instead of just everything just happens to fall in place. And a lot of random incidents just happen to give them 3 hours of matches every single week like it's been for the last 10, 15 years. So I like these little things. You could tell a wrestler would think of these things. And that's what I like about this. I'm pretty upbeat about this whole scenario. They go to break, they come back from break, they have their tag team contest. They do the Eddie spots with the chairs, and Ray outsmarts Finn, and Ray does a splash off the top, and he pins Finn, I want to say. I think it's Ray over Finn. And but either way, the heels beat up Ray and Dominic a little bit afterwards. Did they wait to get to the back? I thought they beat up Dominic after the fact. No, maybe not. Anyway, the heels do get their heat back very soon. I don't know exactly what kind of SummerSlam match they have, but who knows? Bianca Belair is happy. They had a party backstage. I'll get to Bianca in a second. There's a party backstage, and Mysterios are cheering, and they would cut to the Mysterios standing and watching TV normally, but none of them had a chair for some reason. They were all just made to stand for this party they were allowed to have backstage. I don't know why that is. They couldn't have regular furniture. But anyway, they're all standing up, and periodically throughout the tag match, we would cut to the Mysterios smiling and jumping and cheering, except they cut to the Mysterio family smiling and jumping and cheering while one of the Mysterios was taking the heat and getting his ass kicked. So I don't know what that was. I don't know if they did those live. I have no idea. They probably would have had to have the feed on the screen. But anyway. Still no explanation as to why, when people are backstage watching the show on a monitor, that they're not watching themselves watch the show if they're watching the broadcast and they are broadcast to us. It never happens. That needs to happen. And there's a backstage party, and Rhea Ripley is back. Yay, Rhea Ripley. And the Aaliyah, the girl from a year or two ago, I forget, of the Mysterio family, who was supposed to have an on-screen romance with Buddy Matthews, or Buddy Murphy, whatever his name was or is, who in real life is dating and probably having sexual relations with Rhea Ripley, I would imagine. So that was kind of like a funny wink-wink moment. But anyway, she gets in Rhea's face, and Rhea kind of pie faces her, and then Rhea beats up the Mysterios. She just beats up Ray and Dominic, and something happens backstage where Priest and Finn are around a corner, and they powerbomb Ray through a table. Ray is through a table. He is selling. There are random metal pipes falling because we need something to make noise, even though there's no reason for metal pipes to be there. Lead pipes, rather. And Aaliyah, as Ray is selling his powerbomb through a table, she twice asks him, "Are you okay?" He is not. He is not. Yeah, and then we cut to this really sad, somber moment. Bianca Belair is happy and dancing. Can't grieve forever, as they say, and she says one word, and Becky Lynch cuts her off. And Bianca cuts her off, and they brawl, and Becky pulls Bianca out by her own hair, or by Bianca's hair. Becky gets thrown by Bianca over the table, big pull apart. Second big pull apart of the day. I think that was the theme. There's a lot of that. Maybe Triple H likes this pull aparts, or it just had to happen. But anyway, this was very short but sweet, and we just needed to be reminded that Becky and Bianca have a match this Saturday at SummerSlam and hate each other. Oh, Rey Mysterio is healing, and Rhea Ripley comes out from nowhere and kicks him in the shoulder and hurts him again. So that happened. So Rhea Ripley never, at least on TV, I don't think, made it out to the live audience. She was just backstage beating everybody up. Logan Paul has impulsive TV. Oh, good God. I fast forwarded. I know Maurice, the Miz's wife, interrupts him, and I heard some stuff about his the Miz's testicles again. I couldn't take it. Ciampa attacks. What do you call it? Logan, and I didn't like Logan. I didn't mind Logan firing back when Ciampa or Miz was on him. But I was a little annoyed with. I didn't really care for Logan still double-legging Miz when Miz and Ciampa were on him. I thought, do you want heat on yourself or no for this stupid match? And apparently the answer is no, because after Miz gives Logan his finish, the people chanted one more time. So, no heat. It's better to do no finishing move than just stomp the bejesus out of him and leave him laying. And that's when we need blood. He's wearing a white shirt. Leave him lay. Leave the celebrity laying there. Get us feeling a little bad. Jesus Christ. But nope. Logan Paul's got to fight back right away too soon and look good the entire time. So now I don't want to see the fight, which apparently I didn't want to see anyway. But now there's no chance. It is main event time. It is a 6-man match, and this is very good. Riddle and the Street Profits versus the Usos and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns wrestling on Raw in Madison Square Garden. This 6-man actually felt like a main event. I appreciated all of that. You can tell Triple H is a finish guy and not a story guy. Because this finish, which included one of the Street Profits, I think Dawson, hitting the steps, and him and Montez knocked out on the outside in different ways. Riddle goes for the RKO, Orton's finish on Roman. He gets caught, he gets dumped, turns around, spear. Everyone's finish is protected. No one's kicking out of finishes. One guy fails to hit his finish. The other guy does hit his finish. In this case, it's Roman. 1, 2, 3. Very simple, very memorable, very effective. Really, really well done, well put together. And everything was right in its place because as the Bloodline celebrates, Seth Rollins is there, and he gives Roman a nod and laughs at Roman for no reason, which is kind of funny. You know, because given their history, they're just acknowledging it. That's the thing, they're not just pretending that there was no history in this whole company before 2 weeks ago. And the announcers are allowed to, there's a lot of, the announcers are just allowed to say stuff, which is nice. Like I said, I didn't notice a huge difference in announcing, but I heard Corey Graves use the word fight once, which you're not allowed to say fight. I'm not expecting fans to come back. I think Universe will stick. I hope Medical Facility stays, because that one just makes me laugh personally. But I bet you Belt comes back, and wrestling will come back here and there. But I bet you Belt comes back. That's my prediction. I based it on nothing but my Bob's intuition. Seth Rollins attacks Riddle, who is prone, and gives him a curb stomp onto the steps. It's like one step is on a 45-degree angle over another step, and Riddle's leaning over it, and he kind of bends backwards, but leaning forward or whatever. And he takes the move, and the announcers go, "Oh, there's no way Riddle can make it to SummerSlam." So now what? I don't know what. I don't know. Riddle could probably still make it to SummerSlam. I mean, in America, all the flights are canceled, so there's a good chance no one's making it to SummerSlam. So that's what's going on there. So this was interesting. This felt a lot more like a Raw, and I noticed this during the main event too. It's a 6-man. There's no titles up for grabs. There's no this or that or anything. They know not too much of anything can happen. And compared to most Raw main events, again, those fans are sitting there for a long, long time. Compared to most Raw main events, these fans were hot for this. And I know it's the Garden and it's the first Vinceless Raw, so there's a lot of those extra elements too. But at least on this night, they were into the moves of the main event, not just waiting for the finish, not just waiting for who's going to run out, or do their run in by running out, who will run out with their run in, which run in will run out. No, they're not waiting for that. They were just into the comebacks and the moves and the big moves and everything else and the cheating. And it also helps that Roman Reigns is never wrestling there. He's never there, period, let alone wrestling on the show. So a lot of these things made people still live and pretty damn enthusiastic for the main event. So that was good. Which means I'm looking forward to doing next week, sometime over the weekend, probably Sunday, a SummerSlam edition, and hopefully Tuesday again, maybe Wednesday, of the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. You got the guy in an abdominal stretch, and you grab the rope for extra leverage, and you get a concussion from the angry rush, and you get paid with a diet soft beverage on the hardest part of the ring. Hey, the hardest part of the ring. Something, blah, blah, blah. I think I forgot the verses. It's been a couple of weeks. This is just getting worse now. It's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Okay, sometimes you get trapped in a headlock. I got it. You're worried about smearing your lip gloss. You shoot her off and take a shoulder block. Do the leapfrog, give her the hip toss. On the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Now double claps. Clap, clap, clap. Clap, clap, clap. Clap, clap, clap. Clap, clap. The hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da. Get well, Chris.